Hi, welcome back. This is Deborah Peters, your Neuroscience for Success podcast and vlog, rolling out and continuing on our series, The Journey of the Mastery of Your Mind. And again, with me today is my fabulous co-host, all the way from the United Kingdom, Mr. Richard Daniel Curtis. Hello.
Why, hello.
I need to practice that. Why, hello. How's
Why,
that?
hello.
Hello. How was your weekend?
Absolutely fantastic. And lots of time with my baby son. Took him to the park. Enjoyed the sun. Had some family night because it's birthday week this week. So we had I had lots of family around. We had a little bit of a social gathering, which went on far too late. And then Sunday, I was absolutely exhausted because having a baby in the house meant by the time that I went to bed at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, he was just starting to get up.
Worse. Welcome to parenthood.
Absolutely. Great fun. Absolutely great fun. But yes, I would it would be fair to say that Sunday I was absolutely physically exhausted. But it was so nice just from because it did stop my brain from thinking for a day, which is brilliant.
Yeah, and you could just like chill. Like that's, I think we ended our last podcast talking about manifestations happening in the gap between the thoughts. So Sunday was your gap between the thoughts, right?
You have to. A field is most fertile when it's rested, and it's so important to take that time away. Even in our office, I'm the kind of boss that actually we've got. I might have said this before. I can't remember, but we've got table football in the office, for example. And very often, when the team want a brain break, they'll go and play a little tournament of table football just to give them that space.
So what's table football? Is like foosball?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because that's the vision I got was foosball. You know what my favorite thing used to be was air hockey.
Oh, I love air hockey.
Oh my God, I love air hockey. Yeah, I lived in this apartment building right around the time air hockey became popular, and we had an air hockey table in our laundry room. So guess what? Like I couldn't wait to do laundry. Yeah, and I would time it when there was guys down there so I could challenge them, and I would always win.
Of course, yeah.
That was awesome. So I'm really excited about today's podcast. And, I want to thank the viewers for sending in your emails. It's really cool. So we've only really gotten this thing off the ground in like 3 episodes. And the first one was an introduction where we were just kind of saying hi. And already we're getting feedback. Thank you so much for that feedback. Thank you for the comments on YouTube. And I got an email from a viewer on the weekend, and she asked for us to cover like 3 different things that she's dealing with in her life right now. And they're really impactful concepts and topics. So I want you to know, Taylor, thank you, Taylor. And we've got them on the agenda, and we will definitely weave them into our programming. Absolutely. So thank you very much for all those likes, all those new subscriptions, and definitely share these vlogs with your tribe. Get them out to the world. Imagine all the people in the world that don't have access to this kind of toolbox. And here it is. It's free and it's fun and it's coming to you with, enormous love. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Guys. Really appreciated.
Isn't it great? It's just
amazing.
So good. Right?
We're getting feedback from both sides of the pond as well. We're getting feedback from around the world. That's the amazing thing. After only sort of 3 episodes, we're getting this feedback. We're getting this love, and it just makes it worthwhile because both of us, both Deborah and I, when we said let's do this together, both of us said if this podcast, this vlog helps one person, then it's achieved what it's there for.
Yep. And you know what's cool is I have a vision, and we're going to talk about that today, right? So one of my visions on this podcast or vlog or, fabulous show is that we're hitting all across all nations, all continents, and all socioeconomic realms. So whether you're living in that, $30,000 mansion or you're living in a hut with a dirt floor and you have a laptop, which is very common today, kind of cool. You're able to get this. And so that's what makes it so amazing. I just absolutely love the internet. Like, what would we do, without it? It'd be just a whole uphill climb otherwise.
And it's so impactful. And the thing is for us, it's very easy to think in this global perspective, isn't it? It's very easy because we see technology, we see the advantages of technology, we see how it can be used to amplify the message. But it does, for many people, they struggle with seeing the opportunity and seeing that global scale almost.
Yeah, and I think earlier in my life, it was and it is still, but earlier in my life, I remember it being like a driving force for me, that visionary capacity that I have, both of us share, which is why we get on so well, because we get each other from that level.
Yeah.
And we used to have, so I grew up on a farm, and at the yard in our farm, where our house was, kind of sloped down, and then it scooped up to this big hill. And you know what that hill reminded me of? When the first time I visited the Tor, right, at Glastonbury, the first time I visited the Tor, I went, oh my gosh, this is just like, we called it the big hill that we had on our farm. And so that big hill was my friend. And I used to toboggan down it in the winter. I used to ride my wagon down it in the summer. It was my buddy, and I would stand on it. I remember being 10 years old, Richard, and standing on the top of that big hill. And I lived in the prairies, so it was flat for miles, except for just a few of these like enormous hills, and they were kind of randomly placed. And I would stand on the top of that big hill, and I would look out over the horizon, and I would talk to God, and I would talk to the universe, and I would just like, okay, like what's out there? Take me there, because I could imagine the experiences I could have. I needed to like catapult my physical body there.
Yeah.
So I've always sort of been, sorry, my phone is ringing. I've always sort of been in that visionary kind of space, but not everyone's there. And the interesting thing is, over time and with personal growth and professional development training over the years, what I've really honed in myself is, I have this big visionary capacity, and I also have the skill and the talent to chunk that big picture down into small, achievable steps. And that's the key to making a goal or a dream or a vision come true. But I think what you're saying is that we recognize that not everybody has that scope of vision. So what can we do today in this vlog to help people be able to capture their vision for their future and their life, right?
It's so true. I mean, so I have a vision board here, and I'm sure you probably have a vision board. My goal very much, my mission is very much to be influencing the lives of millions around the world. Certainly, I'm well on my way to my first million, but amplify that to millions around the world. But the big thing I know for both of us, we've experienced this on different levels, is the moment you try and explain this to people in your life, to people who are still on the hamster wheel, who still believe in their life is destined by their bosses, by their employers, by the people that decide what they get paid, by the people who are deciding what they are doing every day from 9 to 5, or even down to what hours they're going to work. They don't necessarily see, because of their mindset. And we're talking here about closed and open mindsets and growth mindsets and things. They don't necessarily see it, and so it can be very scary and very daunting. It can be a real turn off for them as well. And I'm sure that's the case for many of our listeners. When they're thinking about what they want to achieve, where they want to go, there's probably a little bit of fear and a little bit of reluctance in there, holding them back from actually being honest with those around them, with their partner, with their family, with their colleagues, with their friends, because they're scared that they might not get it.
Yes. You know, it's so funny you say that, because I remember having conversations with people in my family about wanting to go achieve this goal or have this experience. And they'd be like, well, what if it doesn't work? And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what if it does? What if it does? You know, if it doesn't work, nothing lost. I'm still here. But if it does, oh my God, suddenly I've catapulted myself into a whole new reality.
Yeah.
I used to follow Stuart Wilde. Do you remember Stuart Wilde?
Mm-hmm.
He was an amazing personal growth guy. And I used to be kind of a Stuart Wilde groupie. You know, I read all his books and listened to all his audio and went to his seminars. And my favorite thing that he used to say was, you know, most people are not in present time. They're busy dry cleaning the past, you know, trying to make sense of something that didn't work out for them, or worried about the future. And so it kept them from being in the now. And what's interesting, if you look at neuroscience and how far we've come with the mind, body, brain sort of ratio and alignment, now we're aware of is that if you're too focused on the now, then you think that's all there is. And I think that's what you're talking about, is that's where folks kind of get stuck, is they look at where they are now and they're like, well, this is my reality. How could it be any different? And here's the answer to this, because I want to tie this into the Stuart Wilde quote. So if you're busy dry cleaning the past really isn't yesterday. The past is now. Because everything you thought is what created now.
Yep.
And so everything you think now is what creates the future.
Yep.
So in actuality, the very now that you think you're in is actually the past.
Mm-hmm.
So by shifting, even if it's just like a little baby step, just shifting just take one goal or one idea or one dream and take action on it today, and you suddenly like shift the entire quantum field around that. That's
precisely what I use in my mentoring when I'm working with people, whether it's young people, whether it's young adults. You know, that's precisely this similar sort of phrase that I'll use. We all have times in every single day of our lives where we think about, oh, I'd really like to do this one day.
Yeah.
Or I could do this one day, or wouldn't that be nice if I did that? Just everyone listening to this video, everyone listening to this podcast, I want you to, at some point every single day, when one of those thoughts pops into your brain, I want you to say, I'm going to do that now.
Now. Not
later on today. Do it there and then. Like, for example, we were out walking through the park yesterday with our son Arthur. I said, "Oh, that looks like a nice park to take Arthur to in the future." And then I stopped myself. I said, "No, let's go now."
Yeah.
It's not something to wait for. Next time we come this way, we'll go to that park, or we'll go to that play area or something like that. Actually, no, go and do it now.
Oh.
And if everyone does something now that they've been thinking, they think in their mind, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I did such and such? Then they're forming a new reality.
Yeah, like what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Now, that's really a good point. So in your business, like let's say you're running a company or a business, you're part of a leadership team or whatever capacity you're in, we're all working and we're all, about commerce in some way, shape, or form, right? So here's something that I've started to do in the last couple of years. I'm a big list maker, okay, I like to make my lists, I understand where that comes from. It kind of comes from having to think I need to be in control of everything, but it does help me stay focused. Now, one of the things I've lightened up on in terms of the list making thing is, so I'll have a list for the day. but it's part of a macrocosm for my week, my month, my quarter, my year, my life. And I've learned to make those lists be really broad brushstrokes instead of this like, right? And what that's done for me, it's enabled inspired action, inspired guidance to come through in the moment. And so the next thing I've done with that is when I get that inspiration to call that person or send that email or send that text, I don't put it off till later because there's something on my list that says I have to do that first. I do it now. And oh my gosh, when I started following this methodology, I guess you want to call it, things started to blow open. Like opportunities just started to go, you know, because I was in that moment. It's energy. It's just energy.
Do you know how many things I have on my to-do list at any one time?
I'm going to guess like 3 or 4. Like just
5.
3. Sorry?
5.
5. Okay.
Only
Yeah.
5. Because actually, I mean, there are probably 20 or 30 things I could easily list that I would like to do in the next few days.
Yeah.
That is not a reality. That's not changing things. That's just then a list, a guilt list, because I haven't done them all. So
Yeah,
what
and
I
it puts
do,
you in a box. Puts you in a box.
so what I do every day is I will just write down, these are the 5 things that I am going to do.
Yeah.
And it can be just as simple as, replying to emails, or it can be as simple as, tidying up my desk, because I do think it's really important that you have a tidy desk, that you have a tidy workspace, because I think that reflects your mind as well.
Sure.
But then from the moment that I go into work, at 7 a.m., from the moment I get into the office, well before anyone else is there, actually, normally I've done my 5 things before the rest of the team turn up, and I'm in a position where actually I feel really empowered.
Yeah. Yeah. Feel, there's that word again.
Yeah.
Feel your way through life. We're so beyond this logical, linear, got to think it all out. It's like, yeah, of course, we're a thinking being. And we're also, our solar, and I want to go into this into another podcast that we have on our list, the solar plexus and the connection to that inspired guidance and making that connection. But you know what? We're out of time.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I know. The alarm went like a minute and a half ago. I'm sorry to say this to you, but
No.
here we are.
Final thought is your vision is your vision. It's not anyone else's vision. Let it be yours. Okay. Some people won't get it. That's fine. That's to do with them. That's not to do with you. Some people will completely get it. Some people will be 100% behind you. Doesn't make any difference because it's yours. So do something every day that helps you to move towards that
Toward. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. I love it. Good closing. Thank you. Yeah, as always, phenomenal. Just like I could go on and on, but we won't.
No.
Yeah, we want to keep it brief and concise and just filled with good vibes and good energy. So thank you, Richard, so much. Have a blessed evening. Thank you to all of our watchers and listeners, and join our tribe, because I'm telling you, like, we've got enough material that we can do this for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely.
Raising the bar on the quality of the information, like super high value, super high impact.
Definitely.
Yeah, grateful to have you.
Just very quickly, what's your Twitter handle?
Oh, it's NEI and then the number 4 and then change.
NEI for change on Twitter. Mine is Dad and Expert.
Say it again.
Dad and Expert.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, tweet us out. Let's do this.
Excellent.
All right. Take care, everybody. Have a blessed week. Mwah. Love you.